We are live, I think. Unless everything's lying to me, I believe we are live. Hello, everybody. We are live on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Unless the internet's lying to me, I believe we are live. Yes, we are. I think. Alright, yep, there we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Sorry about that awkward transition. Just the broadcasting software kind of blanked for a minute there. Don't know how to explain it, but we are live. Hello, everybody. So, we're going to do a quick overview of the 2023 CPAC that just happened just a couple days ago. And give my reactions to it, my opinions to it. Was it great? Was it bad? The highs, the lows, whatever. Because overall, it was actually kind of a boring CPAC from what I've watched, which was a lot of it. It was not the most impactful event of the world. It was kind of just boring. I gotta be honest. It was overall a boring CPAC compared to other ones. Really, just nothing like unique happened this CPAC. Now, to say that nothing big happened, I should say, is kind of wrong. But I should say overall, nothing like, nothing I would say surprising. Now, overall, I would say there's some problems with CPAC, and there's a reason I really will probably never go to these things. I personally think it is a waste of money to go to CPAC when you could just watch it live. It just, yes, you can meet a bunch of people, but it's like, would you really want to spend that much money just to meet a couple people? It's like, nah, I don't think so. I wouldn't, in my humble opinion, put money into going to CPAC, but it's my opinion. So we gotta discuss what happened. So obviously, Trump attended, Ramaswamy attended, Perry Johnson, the kind of the major candidates for 2024. I think, didn't Nikki Haley attend? Yeah. Ron DeSantis surprisingly did not attend. Pence did not attend, which was just weird. I mean, Pence in particular. We all know Pence is all but running. And the fact that he just didn't show up, it's like, that's not a good sign for Mike Pence if he's not even showing up to CPAC, which I understand it is a bit more of a grassroots event. I mean, the CPAC straw poll, not the most accurate in the world. It represents the grassroots conservative base, which we'll get to in a little bit. But overall, all the speakers were kind of just bland. Like, there were a couple good ones. Don't get me wrong, there were a couple good speakers, but overall, it was a boring event. And I want to hear you guys' opinions on CPAC. Pence knows he's not winning. Yeah, I think overall Pence kind of just, he won't admit it, but he knows that, yeah, he's not going to get anywhere close to the nomination, especially if it's Trump versus DeSantis at the end of the day. But we just got to see what happens. But Pence is going to run from the sounds of it. Is there no sound? No, there's sound. I don't know what you're talking about, but there is sound. Unless I am wrong. But there should be sound, I believe. Corn Belt nationalism. Pence just wants to sell books. Yeah, that's most people. I mean, you just go to CPAC, say you're running for president, and you sell a bunch of books. So, there is sound. Yeah. Probably something on your end. Who knows? They should have invited the last good Colorado Senator, Stephen Armstrong. Well, wait a minute. Stephen Armstrong. Isn't that the guy from Metal Gear? Oh, man. I had to say, because there was Corey Gardner. I mean, Stephen Armstrong's a guy from Metal Gear, right? He's like the base Trump before Trump. I don't know. What's Pence even running on? None of these people want to attack Trump. Exactly. This is the one thing people need to understand. What is the difference between, or supposedly, what policy differences is Nikki Haley and Trump running on? What makes them unique? They never say anything. Because guess what? They know if they say we're against fair trade, they would get blown out of the water. So, what's the point of voting for them if they're not going to say what makes them different? I didn't really care for CPAC. Yeah, CPAC was pretty boring. It was a pretty boring event, in my humble opinion. Have you heard about the Patriot contract? Honestly, I have not. I have to look into it. I should look into it. I don't know. Sounds fascinating. Are you back on the Trump train? Do you support him? What I will say is, as of now, if DeSantis doesn't run, of course I will be voting for Donald Trump. Now, if DeSantis runs, I will be undecided. That's my statement, and I'm sticking to it. Haley's running her identity. Yeah, that's all she's running on. Like, oh, I have minority parents, and, like, you know, my parents were immigrants, and vote for me. It's like, why? That doesn't make you unique. Oh, congratulations, your parents were immigrants. Like, okay, that doesn't mean much. So, yeah, the CPAC speakers. Let's go over it. Perry Johnson spoke. He does not have charisma. Like, some of his policy aspects, I could see him getting some support behind. He does not have the charisma whatsoever. I mean, you thought DeSantis was bad? Boy, that was painful. Absolutely painful to watch. I mean, give me a break about Perry Johnson. Though, there was a surprise during CPAC, which we'll get to in a little bit. You had Lee Zeldin speak. In my opinion, Zeldin had the best, I guess you could say, speaking time of any of the speakers. He had the most impactful, I wouldn't say a speech, I would say more of a, like a round table. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Go watch what he said. That is a 10 out of 10 amazing speech. He flat out said, look, I won many areas that no Republicans have won, not because I pandered, but because I told these voters, I talked to them, describing what is different between us and Democrats, and trying to actually communicate with these voters, not saying, oh, the Democrats are the real racists. Like, no, nobody believes that crap. It's a complete clown show. But Lee Zeldin gave a phenomenal roundtable speech. I would recommend watching it for anybody. He should have been the GOP leader. If we had Lee Zeldin as our leader in 2022 and 2024, we would have 60 Senate seats. That guy would single-handedly give us a landslide. I mean, and he flat out said it. They did not earn the red wave in 2024 or 2022. And in 2024, we got to earn people's votes, not just banking on it. More like a manifesto. Yeah, that is a good way to describe it. I don't know how to describe it. It was a round table thing. Who knows? So yeah, Lee Zeldin, he should be RNC chair, but I am intrigued with the pack he is forming. It sounds like that he is going all in on running again 2026. That's what it sounds like he's going to run. He's going to run for governor again, and I think he could win next time. I absolutely think, because the Democrats in New York, if Hugel runs again, she may lose. So, who knows? Who knows? Hopefully Zeldin does eventually get some kind of power, some kind of leadership role in the RNC. It's ridiculous that there's no chance of him beating Ron. This is the thing that infuriates me about the GOP. The Democrats, when they lose a single election, would clean the entire house. Everybody and their mother would get fired. But if the Republicans lose 3 national elections in a row, oh, that's fine. There's always next year. It's a joke with these people. Like, the Republican Party needs significant reform. He's gonna do worse next time around. He has his chance, and he peaked. No, he didn't peak. He didn't peak. In fact, if the surge happened a week prior, he would have won that race. He absolutely would have won that race if it was a week prior. As in, he surged in, I think it was October, the week of the third or fourth week. If he surged in the first week of October, like Youngkin did in Virginia, Zeldin would be governor right now. Yeah, New York Dems allowed George Santos to exist. If you lose to George Santos with all that crap, it's like, how? Clean the damn house. Yeah, the GOP needs a clean house. Everybody gets fired. Like, there's good people in the GOP. I'm talking about, main leadership positions. Yeah, the Republican Party is the only party where you could fail and get promoted for it. It's just, the Democrats, at least when you fail, they throw you out. With the Republicans, if you succeed, you get thrown out. Drazden's a candidate. Yeah, Drazden in Oregon was a candidate that she surged way too early. She surged in September and August. Then there's a lot of independents that were like, we're voting for the Democrat. If she surged in October, she would have won. Hey, Rap, how about you do a Rise and Fall series? I'm actually planning about that. I am working on a video about Palin. That is one I will say. You actually got the nail on the hammer right there. Hammer on the nail, whatever you say. So yeah, let's get back to the CPAC. So Trump, of course, or Zeldin spoke. Johnson spoke. Nikki Haley spoke, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And then Trump spoke, which he gave a very solid policy-wise speech. It was a fairly solid, on-message speech. Now, what was more important was what happened after the speech. A bunch of reporters came up to Trump and they were asking about DeSantis. And Trump basically, he didn't mock DeSantis. He was actually kind of civil. He was like, Florida's doing great right now. Like, he indirectly said DeSantis is a great governor. And I think we're in a stage where a lot of the bitter fighting between the two, I think it's over. I think we're at a point where it's going to be more civil. Like, we may have our disagreements, but we're not going to bash each other over the dumbest of things. That's what I think was going to happen now. I mean, that's fairly civil of Trump what he said after his speech. So, RNC chairwoman Ronna McDaniel. Yeah, no reason she should be anywhere near the chairwoman position. DeSantis fans coping. Yeah, there's a lot of coping. Like, people are saying he had a bad speech. It was a good speech. It was a good speech. Not, 10 out of 10, but it was a solid 8 out of 10 speech, I would say. Not really, all he said was wrong. But for Trump standards, that is civil. For saying that's like, it's always been good. That is civil for Trump standards. Now, we got to get to the straw poll, because this is the part that actually, I think, shocked a lot of people, including myself. So the VP one, this one scares me. This one very much scares me. Kari Lake is the front runner of the VP right now. This is the part that, again, the straw polls don't mean everything, but it is the grassroots conservatives. Lake should not be the VP. Her speech, I will flat out say, was terrible. She had a bad speech when she spoke. And what she did after is like, what? Are you having an affair at this point? It's like, Lake, I liked you in 2022, but some of the stuff got weird and creepy. Then the past 3 months, just stop. Just stop. It was... Oh, that was one of the worst moments of CPAC would happen, but it is what it is. Lake pissed off too many people, and it's just the Trump stuff is getting just weird. It's getting awkward. And she would not be a good VP pick. A good VP would be somebody that helps you, unite the party or appeal to certain type of voters. Like appeals to Trump voters. Okay? Trump's on the ballot. You need somebody like, you may not like Pence. Pence did his job in 2016. Pence was able to appeal to the more Tea Party, more establishment conservative in a place like Waukesha. A place like Collin, Texas. Sure, Trump didn't do great in these areas, but somebody like Pence stopped the bleeding. And you need somebody like that. Now, I would say Kim Reynolds would be the best choice, but who knows? Now, the second person on the CPAC poll was DeSantis, of course. A lot of people still like DeSantis. Third, I believe, wasn't it Rand Paul? Or Nikki Haley? It was Nikki Haley, I believe. Then it was Rand Paul, which surprised me. There's still a bit of people that do like Paul. I hope this is a fluke. Again, it is a bit misleading because this is the more grassroots part of the GOP. I would like Pence if we didn't betray. I was always fine with Pence. Like, the whole January 6th stuff, that's not what made me furious with him. It was just the fact that he lied to people. Like, he flat out lied to everybody about it. So, yeah, Youngkin also, I think he took 5th, Youngkin. But yeah, Rand Paul took 4th, if I'm not mistaken. But we just gotta see. So yeah, now we gotta discuss the presidential straw poll, which shocked a lot of people. And not because Trump did bad. Trump got 62%. That's kind of expected. DeSantis, of course, took 2nd. But the person that took 3rd came out of freaking left field. Perry Johnson. Perry freaking Johnson took 3rd. He got 5%. That's more than Nikki Haley. What? How? I understand this is a completely different ballgame. But Nikki Haley should not be behind Perry Johnson, even in this situation. That is a bad sign for Nikki Haley. If she can't do good here, now, again, it is a bit different, but it's like, you do worse than Perry Johnson? Nobody's heard of the guy. So yeah, Perry Johnson took 3rd, and then Nikki Haley. Ramaswamy took 5th, I believe? Yeah. And then after that, it was kind of just whatever. Tim Scott was there, Youngkin. But yeah, overall, it was a fascinating straw poll that Perry Johnson, of all people, took 3rd. I thought that was a misprint. That was real. That Perry Johnson beat Nikki Haley. Which there will be a video tonight. I should clarify something that, yes, a video will be out tonight discussing that straw poll. But who knows? Updates on the Wisconsin Supreme Court election. Surprisingly, I'm a bit more confident. I'm not saying we're going to win or anything like that. I will say, however, I've noticed lately, Kelly has been getting more ads on digital and TV. At least where I'm from. I've been noticing more and more Kelly ads and less of Janet ads. And this is what the Kelly campaign is doing. They're micro-targeting ads. That means they're focusing on specific parts of Wisconsin. Not just Janet's campaign, which is blast every airwave in Wisconsin, including 99% or a 99% Trump precinct in northern Wisconsin. It's like, no. They're focused on rural or certain areas, which we got to see how it goes, but I think it will work out at the end. And I've been noticing there is some momentum. Well, yeah, there's a bit of momentum on the ground for Kelly. I honestly have not seen a single Janet person, like, knock on doors or anything around here. Not a single one. I know that's not everything, but it's like, you. All right. Blasting airways can backfire. Well, if you just, don't, like, focus on certain areas, it's like, yeah, everybody sees your ad, but it's like, not everybody's going to vote. You're just burning money at that point. Off topic, but is New England a lost cause for the GOP to target for the next decade? I would say there's parts of it to target. Parts of New York, parts of Connecticut. Maine second, you got to target. New Hampshire at this point is just Massachusetts north. So yeah. I saw some Kelly signs. Have a plan on what you want. What? Let's see. Also, Perry Johnson's a write-in. Really? Dems are gonna try to. Well, I'm not gonna finish the rest of that sentence. Yes, they're going to try, but also the Republicans, they are going to do some same stuff. That's all I will say. No comment. Scott Press is going to be here in Wisconsin next week, so I think that you understand what. Massachusetts North has the chance to say no. New Hampshire is Massachusetts North at this point. I mean, it's getting to a point where Sununu, he won in 2022, but it was like his smallest victory, wasn't it? Or smallest since 2018. He did worse than 2020. It's like, that's not a good sign for Sununu. Okay. I think we're going to call it for a stream here. Unless anybody got any super chats. If you got any super chats or anything like that, send them now or forever go in peace, because I got to quickly get a video up about the CPAC straw poll. Massachusetts will be a red state if the suit just runs. Yeah, some of these people are just ridiculous. It's like, DeSantis may do better in Tarrant County, Texas by like a point. He's not going to reverse trends. Stop it. Stop this crap that DeSantis is the second coming of Reagan. It's like, no. Thoughts on Hogan not running? Ooh. I may actually make a video on... Okay. I may make a video on... Who knows? I gotta make a video on the straw poll. That's what I'm gonna do. Thoughts on the Arizona cartel story? Yeah, that's... The Democrats in Arizona are one of the most competent parties, but they're one of the most corrupt. It's like, I'm not really shocked, but yay. For 2024, it's Trump or bust. I'm just waiting and see. Is Pete Ricketts an upgrade over Ben Sass? Yeah, but it's like, you go from complete dog shit to like, meh. You're not bad, but it's like, you're not that great. Will Sununu run? I doubt Sununu runs. He said DeSantis would win New Hampshire, so I doubt he runs. Yeah, Hogan is not running. I mean, you know what? Should I make a video on the... Let me ask for straw poll, actually. What video should I do? Hogan is not running. Surprise. I'm thinking he'll either support Hutchinson if he runs or Nikki Haley. Yeah, that's what I'm getting out of it. I'm starting to think DeSantis may not even run. If people like Hogan or not. Who knows? We just gotta see. 2024 update. CPAC straw poll. Both. We got, yeah, thanks for the being a member for 7 months. Again, you should join the channel if you want to. Hogan said he will support Pence. Did he? Really? Trump needs to make trade outsourcing in his new freedom cities as the main platform issues. Yeah, he needs to focus on trade. That's his bread and butter. Immigration is up there, but trade, even Social Security, that's his bread and butter. That's won him 2016. He was the first Republican to openly say, we're not going to touch Social Security or Medicare. Both videos will release straw poll. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. He's doing campaign rallies. I'm just going to wait and see with DeSantis, because I think his holdup is if they change that law. And we got a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Man Milk. That's an interesting name. If the GOP keeps courting working class Latinos, what do you think the map will look like later? I think Texas would be like the eternal likely R state. Like, if the trends we saw in 2020 in Houston stays the same, yeah, I think it's going to always be 5-6 points Republican. Also, places like Arizona, Nevada, you may hold on to Arizona for a little bit longer. Nevada, I think it's shifting red. It is the boogeyman of the Republican Party. We always come up so close, but it's a matter of time, though. I mean, it's been shifting Republican for a decade now. It's only a matter of time. Best candidate to run in the Arizona governor recall. Honestly, not Lake. I really do not want. I'm sorry, but she had her chance. That was pathetic. Honestly, who? I honestly can't think of one. Like, one specifically. Probably? Isn't there, maybe Debbie Lesko? Or no, I don't think she would run for governor. Kimberly Yee. Probably Kimberly Yee. Yeah. Like, people think I hate Kimberly Yee. I don't hate Yee. But she's overrated. But I still think she would win a recall. Should Lindell run for president of Minnesota Senate? That ship has sailed. Thoughts on the Nevada Democrat Party ousting the Socialists? It's a sad day for the Republican Party. The incompetent assholes got ousted. But that's the Nevada Democrats. They even won most of their elections. They still ousted everybody. I mean, that's what we're talking about. The Republican Party, you fail to get upgraded. Even if you succeed in the Democrat Party, you get thrown on your ass. Hamadeh. Ooh, that would be a good one. I think Hamadeh's actually a strong candidate. He's not going off the rails like certain somebody. He would be good. Blake Masters, I'm saying wait 2024. I'm telling you, we'll get to it. Trump vice president prediction. It's going to be a woman. I have a feeling. Barring he pulls a 1980 and he picks somebody like Bush as his VP. Or not Bush, like Reagan picked Bush. He may pick DeSantis, which I think would be the best option. Best unity ticket. Andy Biggs. We always think he's going to run, but he just doesn't. I think Biggs is satisfied with being powerful in the House, being the House Freedom Caucus. I think he's picking Kristi Noem, Nikki Haley, or at least Stefanik. He's not picking Haley. I know that for a fact. Noem maybe. Stefanik, that's actually probably the front runner right now, which is sad, but do you see any possible primary challengers of Ted Cruz in 2024? Or most of them waiting for Cornyn. Cornyn is done. You're a Texas senator. I'm going to support gun control in the state of Texas. Yeah, that didn't go too well for you, jackass. He may just retire. Who knows? But Cruz, I think he's actually going to win. I think Cruz will hold on. I think the vice primaries hurt us in some races, in some ways, but I do also think that problem is misunderstood. Yeah, it depends on the circumstance. Like, if it's Arizona, it's like 2 months before the election, the primary hurts more. People might forget by 2026. I don't know. It's Texas we're talking about. And you're talking about taking their guns away. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna forget that. So, which county should we most focus on to win Michigan, Pennsylvania in 2024? Pennsylvania, Erie County. Michigan, probably Kent or Macomb counties. Those are the two big ones. Man, Melford, 5 more. Dear Lord, that name. If Blake Masters wins, can we save Arizona? Same goes for Pennsylvania and Michigan. Also with Latino trends, odds in New Mexico, Colorado, and California shifting right over like 20 years. All right, let's go one step at a time. I think at some point Democrats will max out on Phoenix. So I don't think Masters would save the state, but I think it is a matter of time before they do max out in Phoenix. I understand it is growing fast, but Phoenix is a different breed of a city. It's not the same as Milwaukee or Madison or LA for that matter. Same goes for Pennsylvania and Michigan. This may sound crazy. I think Michigan, you have a better chance in Michigan looking forward. I know that sounds crazy because Democrats have a trifecta, but outside of that, which if we embrace what Democrats do, it kind of counters that. But in the state of Michigan, you have a lot more room to grow with voters. And plus, Pennsylvania coalitions make no sense half the time. They're inconsistent as hell. But Michigan is a state that Democrats may win by more, but I know that sounds weird, but Republicans may have a better shot of winning there. It makes no sense, I understand it, but I actually think Michigan has a brighter future than Pennsylvania. That's a hot take, I know, but Pennsylvania, I think if they get better leadership, they'll be a better situation. Michigan, I think, Karen Murrow, she may not be the best in the world, but I don't think she's like as bad as some people say. Also with Latino trends, odds in New Mexico, Colorado, California. New Mexico, I think Ron Ketty's margin was about the ceiling for now. Colorado's gone. Just outside of Boebert and Ken Buck's district, it's gone. California, we saw some shift in 2022, but was that low turnout? We do got to see. We do got to see with California. If it gets, I think it's going to get closer, but that's about it. What about Pennsylvania after the special state senate election? That is true. There was a big thing where Republicans kicked ass with early voting, but it's just Pennsylvania coalitions are just, ugh, they hurt my brain. They absolutely break your brain. Which region should we most focus on to have a chance in Minnesota in the future? You got to find a way to minimize the margins in the Twin Cities. You cannot lose by that much. I mean, yes, there's a lot of rural vote, but it's clear they're not shifting Republican whatsoever. But Iron Range, yeah, that is true. But you have to find a way. You cannot crush the Twin Cities like that. You got to find a way to just minimize it. Do you think Oz or Herschel will run for political office again? I may, if there's a special election, I think he runs. I have this weird feeling. If a special election occurs for Fetterman's seat, he runs. For Herschel Walker, there's a lot of weird things like Walker and them said after the thing, like, oh, Walker has a future in the GOP. He may run for House seat in the future, but who knows? Walker, I do feel kind of bad for, but yeah, that's whatever. Do you think Ana Paulina Luna is a future presidential candidate? She's a great representative for Florida. I wouldn't say that yet. She's only, 30? Do you think Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson will win the governor's race for North Carolina? Here's what I will say. Doubt Mark Robinson at your own risk. The guy, I think, is getting underestimated way too much. Like, I'm not saying he wins or anything, but to say that he has zero chance, it's like, not necessarily. He has a chance to win, and there is a group of voters that I think he would win that no Republicans would be able to win. You know, he just has such a unique campaign style. He is a pastor, basically, and while it appeals to this certain group of black working class voters that we saw in 2020. I understand that was a lower race, but still, you're going from lieutenant governor to governor. It's not that big of a stretch. So yeah. Do you think Katie Britt has a presidential future? She just got in the Senate, but so far she's been a phenomenal senator. Alabama went from, Senate delegation because you had Tuberville to now you have a solid A-tier delegation with Tuberville and Britt. Rural blacks. Yeah, it's rural working class blacks. We saw this in 2020. That was the strongest group. Let's see. I wish Herschel won so he could have debate with Fetterman and create so many memes. Oh, the Senate floor with Walker and Fetterman. Oh, dear Lord. That would have been gold, but... Alright. I think I'm going to call it here. If there's no other super chats, I got to get going. I got to make a couple of videos. I'll make one today, and of course, I'll just post my daily content like usual. I won't do 2 tonight because... not enough time, I don't think. But any last super chats, send them now or forever go into peace. Alright. Mark Chadston over Sim Scott. Yeah, I think Robinson is getting underrated too much. I'm proud to have the best Senate delegation in the country. Yeah, you do. Missouri. Well, yeah, probably. You got Hawley and Schmidt. Schmidt's pretty good. Robinson should do rural black church rallies. I think he already did. He did a ton, I thought. But Trump or DeSantis should make Oz HHS Secretary of Head of the CDC. I don't know. With Oz, I have a feeling if there's a special election he runs, or maybe he just grifts over to to Pennsylvania first, where gosh, what's his name? What? Why can't I think of Fitzpatrick? Yeah, Fitzpatrick's seat. I think he may just grift over there when he eventually retires, but who knows? So yeah, if there's no super chats, I think I'll end the stream right now. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, live stream, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Godspeed.